May I come in, sir?
Aye.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please take your seat. You're Mr. Aditya Anand.
Yes, sir.
Aditya, you're comfortable with English as your medium of interview?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with both Hindi and English.
And Aditya, you're vaccinated?
Yeah, I'm vaccinated.
Both doses?
Both doses.
You're not having any symptoms right now?
No, I'm not having any symptoms.
In that case, I'll advise you to remove your mask. Comfortable?
Yeah.
Fine, Aditya. To begin with, I want you to tell us something about yourself in a manner that your name is not repeated, your caste, your community and other identity markers are not revealed.
Sir, I hail from Bihar, Patna especially, and I have done my schooling from there. I did my graduation from Banaras Hindu University in English literature, and my hobbies including writing novels, writing poetry and reading novels.
You completed your graduation in 2016 in English literature.
Yes.
Despite having graduated with honors in English literature, you're unemployed ever since?
Not really. I was doing some writing work for online platforms. I did that, and after graduation 1 year there was some family obligation, so I was busy in that. From 2018 onwards, I started preparing for UPSC, and I couldn't clear the prelims 2 times. Once I cleared the prelims, but I couldn't get through mains. But so BPSC I also did. It's my 3rd attempt at BPSC, and to sustain myself, I did do some online content writing job for platforms like coaching.
This idea of working where you're not on the rolls of any company is part of what we call the gig economy.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are the problems of gig workers in India?
Firstly, is unorganized. There are no rules to. I think there are no rules to maintain the economy or the workers itself. They don't have any. I'm sorry. Can I continue in Hindi?
Sure.
So, गिग इकोनॉमी में कोई भी हमारे पास वो नहीं है कि अगर वर्कर्स के खिलाफ कुछ होता है या कंपनी उन्हें हटा देती हैं, तो देयर आर नो स्पेसिफिक फोरम्स और
will the labor laws,
yeah,
as we see in the states, different states including Bihar, will apply to gig workers, or no, the labor laws will not apply?
No, the labor laws will not apply to the gig workers.
No labor law will apply, or there will be certain aspect of the labor law that will apply and then the rest will not apply?
No, I think no labor law aspect will be applied because they do not count as labor they do not count as formal workforce. So,
okay, that is one thing. You've taken English literature as your optional, right? If you look at the Indian original writing in English, there we observe this strange thing that when it comes to the Dalit literature, we do have translations, but we don't have much original writing in as far as the Dalit literature is concerned. Why the Dalit sensitivities have not touched to that extent to the original writing of English literature?
Sir, because if there's 2 aspects to that thing. First, English is not their native language, not our native language, and learning English is nowadays in vogue, but it was not very in fashion 20-30 years ago. So Dalit writer and Dalit community being a backward community, they didn't have access to that level of education that they can grasp English as their own language and then write in it. So they used to write in their own language, their pains, their everything that they have suffered. They used to write in their own language, and we have just as there is Talidand. Talidand is a very great play by Girish Karnad, and it's in Kannada, I think, and it has been translated in many languages, and we also had that in our syllabus. But as we see that first and second aspect is that to reach the Dalit audience as well, because if the author will write in English, he will leave a lot of the audience.
Effectively, you are conceding that English is too alien a language to express the original pain of Dalits?
Not too alien a language, but it was too alien a language 20-30 years ago, I think. And the writers, those are that are coming now or that are writing now. And Dalit being a community which didn't have that much access to education and everything. So English wasn't their first language, or English wasn't their language of medium of instruction. So writing that, because writing requires you to think in that language, and when you begin to fluently think in English, you can clearly express your pains and suffering in that. But
fine, I got your perspective. Thank you, sir.
Aditya,
yes, sir.
you are from basically Patna. Please tell something about some striking features of Patna.
Despite being one of the oldest capitals and one of the greatest cities, it's the condition is very much bad now. So the downfall that it has seen, it's one of the most striking features about it, because being a capital of Magadha Empire, and then after that Shashuri and everything, it was in very great its image was very great in ancient times as well as in medieval times. But after the coming of British and everything, the downfall has been one of the most any cities haven't seen that level of downfall that Patna has seen.
Okay. This is the most striking feature of Patna according to you?
Yeah, that what came in mind right now.
Okay, actually Patna has been the very historical city.
Yeah, Patna has been a very historical city. It's but the level which it is right now, it doesn't.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Earlier it was known as Pataliputra. Who established Pataliputra and why?
First, it was established as Patli Grama by Azad Satru to fend off. He established it as a fort, just a fort, to fend off some attack. And then Udayan, his son, he properly established Patliputra as the capital of Bihar, and he's also known as the founder of Patliputra.
Okay. There are many circuits in Bihar. What do you know about Sikh circuit?
Sikh circuits. Guru Nanak Dev, it's related to him. And Patna Sahib is one of the major pilgrimage center for Sikhs, and we had that few years back. It was 100th birthday of Guru Nanak, and we had.
Okay. Any other site in Sikh circuit?
That's not coming to my mind right now.
Okay. Why do you think that you are a suitable candidate for civil services?
Because I'm a quick learner. I'm empathetic, so I can very much connect with people, those who I have, because being a civil servant is like we have to work for the people. So if I can connect with their pain, then I will be in better position to understand what they are going through, and I will be doing my best to alleviate that. So I think because of that, and being a quick learner, it will help me.
Okay, give one example from your life so that we can understand that you are empathic.
Okay, so.
And also you are a quick learner.
Okay, so it happened around 2 years back. We were in our library, and it was around 1 o'clock in the night, and some random stray dogs, because there are a lot of stray dogs in Delhi, there was a piglet, and 4-5 stray dogs were just attacking that piglet, and he was in a very bad condition. He was crying and the shrieks reached our library in the basement, and the shrieks reached there. So me with some of my guys, we went back, and no one was ready to touch that piglet because of the unsanitary condition that they live in and everything. So I was very moved by that, the noises. So I took a big parchment that was lying there. There was some hoarding for something, and I wrapped the piglet in that, and then I took it to some some place where their mother
I got your answer. Thank you, Aditya.
Aditya?
Yes, sir.
So you are a person who has graduated in English literature from BHU.
Yes, sir.
So Rabindranath Tagore is considered to be one of the pioneering poet in English literature.
Yes, sir.
Indian English literature.
Yes, yes.
Right. So can you draw some parallels between the Rabindranath Tagore and P.B. Shelley?
No, sir, I'm not able to recall that right now.
Okay. Was there any thematic affinities between these two poets?
Shelley was a romantic as much as I can recall. Shelley belonged to that era of Wordsworth and Keats, and he was supernatural. He was very attracted towards supernatural, as Ode to the West Wind is one of the poems by Shelley. It's one of the very influential poem of the Shelley.
Can there be a similarity between Ode to the West Wind and 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢?
𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 is a very moving, very emotional poem. Ode to the West Wind is very much toward nature, and nature can be a very similar facet between them.
Okay, fine, I got it. Good governance index, when it comes, Bihar stands 6th position in the categories of the states B. So why Bihar did not perform so well? At least it could have elevated its position. The factors responsible for that.
In good governance.
Yes, good governance index.
Good governance. So one of the first things that comes to mind is like political instability. Not right now, but
it's not their political instability.
No, not right now, but 15 years back there was.
So how long will condemn the past and not moving the forward?
But I think Bihar has one of the most numbers of chief ministers that were replaced in the period around that. So I think good governance index.
Your first preference is like what? A DSP?
Yeah, because Bihar Administrative Service is not there, then it's Bihar Police Services.
What is the structure of the civil defense in Bihar, Aditya?
I don't have any idea about that, sir.
Can you tell me, I'm going to say recently we have seen the two European countries, they are of the opinion that they should join NATO. Why, what encouraged them to join the NATO and feeling this expression?
Okay, so you are talking about Sweden and Finland, the Scandinavian countries.
Yes.
So the Russian annexation of Crimea and how Russia is spreading its legs toward the West Europe. So that instilled a fear, because they are very good in social governance, their democracy is everything, but militarily wise, they don't have a strong military. So joining NATO will give them a very strong foundation to which they can have a counter-attack to Russian spreading their legs westward.
Do you think that India should also join NATO at one given point of time, so that it could save itself from Chinese future Chinese invasion or some challenges?
I don't think India should join NATO. First of all, NATO is like North Atlantic countries. So India,
there are countries which are not the part of the NATO, but still.
Yeah, but India would be, as we have always taken the path of I'm sorry. That.
What is 2+2 dialogue, Aditya?
It is between India and USA.
Only?
India, USA, and India and the Quad countries. I don't recall.
What exactly the format of the 2+2 dialogue?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Okay. Aditya, what is the difference between SLR and CRR?
CRR is a cash reserve ratio and SLR is statutory liquidity ratio. So CRR is mandatory provision of the cash that banks have to keep them with the RBI. It's mandatory. It is 4% around. And SRR is statute. The banks can keep that in gold or sovereign bonds, and they can keep that with themselves.
And what is SDR?
SDR.
With regard to IMF?
Or special drawing rights. So it's like it's not a claim to the IMF in any country, but it's like a currency that is being devised for better financial transactions throughout the world.
You are basically from Patna. So what will be your mother tongue? Will it be Maghai or Bhojpuri?
Maghai.
Maghai. Okay, just before we let you go, can you just explain the significance of Patna in your mother tongue?
Actually, my mother tongue was always Hindi because none of the parents spoke Maghai at home. But
You seems to be taking pride in not knowing your mother tongue.
No, I'm not. I am desperately trying to learn it, but the thing is ki at home both the parents spoke in Hindi. So and where I was school and all that. So
Okay, so you'll not be able to speak in Maghi.
I will not be fluently able to speak in Maghi.
Okay,
I can speak in my maternal home is in Begusarai. So there I can speak in that language if you allow it.
No, just before you go, just give us the Hindi alphabets. Say Ha tak.
A se Ha tak. A I E A I O O ang ah ka kha ga gha a cha cha ja jana ta tha da dha na ta tha da dha na pa pha ba bha ma or ya ra la va ha.
I'm sure you'll go and check it again. Nice
I
talking
think
to
so.
you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you so much. I come in, sir.
Aye, Aditya. Take your seat.
Thank you.
So, Aditya, your interview is on the 4th of June, right?
Yes, sir.
And is it going to be your first interview ever
Yeah.
in any public service commission?
Yes.
You are happy with your performance today, or you believe no, you're not happy? There are a few things you would like to improve.
Yeah, there are many things I would like to improve.
Okay. See, I don't have many suggestions. There are a couple of things I would like you to work on. But overall, you're a good candidate considering that your background is nice. You studied from BHU, and English literature is one of the lesser popular subjects there. So there will not be many candidates who will come in with such option. The board will have a reason to be interested in you. So that part is definitely there. My most important suggestion will be that please look at the video carefully and look at it twice. One with the voice and one muted. So you'll have a lot of things, you'll be able to understand that there are few things which I will not be able to tell you, but you'll be able to observe these things. It has to do with both with the verbal communication as well as non-verbal communication. My primary concern are in these domain only. There are few places where it appears that you, as if, though that is not your intention, but as if you're not taking the entire process that seriously. You're not formal in your verbal, non-verbal communication. It appears more than once. So my advice will be that look at the video. What are the points where I'm referring to? For example, in suggestion, there are a few verbalization like the guy, that kind of informal phrases coming, right?
Yes,
that kind of stuff. These are avoidable verbalization that you can do. Similarly, in the non-verbal things, I'm sure you already know that there was a very vigorous hand movement, right?
Yes.
And that vigorous hand movement again suggests a little bit of being informal. Though there is nothing inherently wrong in your entire interview, but there are risks that the board members will take as if you're not taking the entire conversation seriously.
Okay.
You're not being formal enough. That will be their grudge. So my advice is if you can curb this tendency, it will be good. So that is one suggestion I wanted to make. Hand movement I just told you. Similarly, there were facial expression and eye contact at a few places, especially the eye contact thing. You have this tendency of looking up while you're thinking, which is going by the body language grammar. That's not considered a better thing. If you have to break the eye contact for thinking, advice is to look down rather than looking up.
Okay.
That is a better stance because it shows that you are structuring your answer. If you look up, generally the message is that you are manufacturing the response, and there's a fine difference between the two. So that is another area you can work. Overall, what I'm requesting is that make sure that you should not appear casual when it comes to the interview. That's the primary thing actually I wanted to make. Other things are secondary and not really the most important. There are a few areas you need to brush up. I'm sure you'll look at these things a little bit more carefully. Do work on the Bihar, both in the current affair aspects and the factual aspect. Who is what, where, which, how many districts, that kind of a factual stuff. because state interviews tend to become a lot factual sometimes. And also whenever the board for some reason, you must have noticed what happened in the last, I came with the SLR, CRR, that kind of a question, which are not the made questions in the last leg of the interview. In the last leg of the interview, generally it should ideally be the creative open-ended question, but you left that kind of signals in between that you're not good at factual thing. So that's why the board member jumped into that thing. So don't give that kind of a signal is another advice I can make you. Other things are in control. Don't get into this Hindi-English thing if you can avoid that. There's no harm in speaking in Hindi. There will not be any problem. In fact, in Bihar, if you have specifically written English, it is very likely that some part of the interview will go in Hindi. And you're not bad in Hindi. So don't worry about it, but don't make a mess of it. That will be advisable, right? Other things are in place. I'm sure you'll do very good, right? Just enjoy the conversation. Don't be scared of it, right? All the best.